Thank you for joining us on this special occasion as we celebrate the Marine Corps' 247th birthday on the Above the Bar podcast, where you're going to have the opportunity to listen to a bunch of old, broken-down Marines tell old, broken-down stories. So as we always say on the Above the Bar podcast, be sure to push your stool.
What the fuck is the goddamn recruiter giving me now?
All right, so it's 248 there, folks, and I know it is, and I didn't change it, and I wasn't going to do another one. So, and whoever's got the echo, who's got their speaker echoing? I'm going to start going through muting you. Let's see who needs to be muted. Let's see. Oh, it was Bill. Bill wins the mute game. What do you got going on over there already, Bill? All right, so. As you all know, we do this every year. We get a bunch of old, broken down Marines, and we sit around and we tell lies about each other and things that nobody really wants us to know. We are missing a couple this year. None of us are concerned about being banned from any form of social media. We do miss you, Molly, but whatever place he is hidden at, Bill, you can't hear. I love it. If anyone is watching the live, Bill has currently moved that phone 75 times, has his fingers all over it. But, and then he's gone. I love it every year. The same thing with this guy. If you didn't know it, he lives in the middle of nowhere in the woods. But let's go ahead and get this thing going. Welcome, gents. We've got, I don't know, Dan, I have a question. Dan, take it off mute. Dan, unmute yourself. Dan, unmute.
Got it.
Should we go through and refer to everybody by their rank, Dan, or just no, we'll just skip that?
I think first name basis is just fine.
First name basis. All right. So we've got with us Casey Scott all the way down in Houston. Dan Beecher up here with me. Terrell, where are you at now?
Columbia, South Carolina, or Lexington, South Carolina. So,
which is it?
Lexington. It's right outside of Columbia.
All right.
Don't nobody know where that is, though.
Nobody knows where I am. And Ray. And Ray is going to. He's going to try to teach all of us. Oh, you've got the back. I'm echoing with you, Ray.
Are you? Let me move my speaker back. How's that?
Let's see.
Is that better?
Nope, still echoing.
Let me move my microphone forward. Is that better?
Let's see. Nope, still echoing.
Better?
Oh my God, Ray.
All right. Let me turn the speaker down.
Where's RJ when we need him?
Yeah. Right.
So before we get into this and we all tell a bunch of lies about each other and what we've all been doing for the last year and how we're celebrating the birthday. Oh, look, Bill's back.
There he is.
Okay, we can stop talking about it now.
All right, hold on. I'm muting you, Ray. Sorry, I had to do it. Bill, it wasn't you. It was Ray that was feeding back and echoing. The guy was
you muted me. You kicked me out and muted me.
I didn't kick you out. But what's funnier to me is Ray has every bit as nice of equipment as I got, probably nicer. It's newer. And he can't. I've got you muted right now, Ray. So we're all going to just talk shit about you in a minute. But let's get this going. Before we get going, before the show, I just did a quick TikTok video. I had the folks at Echo Spirits Distilling reach out to me and give me 2 bottles of their whiskey and do a blind taste test. Did it? Opened up the thing. Well, guess what? I was absolutely bamboozled. Both of them were the exact same whiskey. I had no idea, but it was worth it. Check out Echo. If whoever's nobody's up in Ohio now. So check out Echo Spirits. That's who's going to also be our sticker and a cause today. So we'll put them up on the big board. Check them out. Also, folks, look, you can see behind some of us, we need window treatments. Everybody needs a good window treatment. That's why you need to reach out to Budget Blinds of Hudson and Coxsackie, New York, or Budget Blinds of East Greenbush. Currently for this month, they're having their pre-Black Friday sale. It's called Triple 50. You get 50% off of one window, 50% off of installation, and 50% off of shipping. That's the Triple 50 sale. So if you have maybe that 1 or 2 windows you think, hey, maybe I do, maybe I don't want to get these taken care of, give them a call. As long as you schedule that appointment before November 24th, you can get that special going. All right, gents, it's all going. We're here. How's everybody doing?
Good. Awesome. Good. It's good to be back.
It is good. It's good to have you back.
Thank you.
It's good to see some of you all. It's been a long time.
Ray, you're still echoing.
I'm trying to fix it. Hold on. Huh?
Do you have headphones?
Hold on. Listen, mister, don't threaten me with an iPhone, miss.
The iPhone has said headphones. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the seniors tour of the Marine Corps where Master Guns can't hear a single thing. And in a moment, he's going to be drawing stick figures. We all know how this works. And he's
What? Say it again.
I said, this is the seniors tour with you. So whatever you just did, now you're not echoing. But so who's got anything new? So Casey, this is your first time. This is the third time we've done this.
Yeah.
This is your first one. So you finally made it.
Yeah.
So welcome to the team.
You know, I've been wanting to do this, and it's unfortunately last year was school, and I think the year before was when I was in the hospital. So yeah. So
Face transplant?
for those who don't know, I actually had open heart surgery. So you know,
Wow.
in a Marine, you know, all those 60-hour work weeks of having to talk to Shawn, you know, and
Look, I didn't even know that they could put a heart
deal
inside of a
with
Fraggle.
Dan's bullshit. And
I didn't know you could put a heart inside of a Fraggle.
hey, look, man, you know, they actually found one, you know. So
And we've already lost Terrell. This is amazing. And folks, I know most of you are going to watch this and be like, this makes no sense to anybody. This is the glory for us every year. We lie to each other and say we're going to get together, we're going to have breakfast and do stuff. This is it. We get online and drink bourbon and whiskey. I don't even know. Like, Terrell, are you old enough to drink yet?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
I figured as much.
Ray, you got a little bit of sound effects over there? Is that what we're doing? Did Ray, who had the sound effects, or was that you?
Oh, that was mine, because I had
Nope.
said this was Siri tried to jump in.
Oh, I was about to say. I was about to say, wow, you know. I mean, we could go all kinds of stupid sound effects. I got all that shit there. Who else got something new? What else is happening?
Just taking it day by day, really.
Well,
he's like the newest retiree.
I'm about to say you're the newest retiree of us. Did you retire? Was it this year or last year?
Last year. I was 30 days after Dan. Or was
So-
he 30 days? No, he was 30 days after me.
Yeah, that's right. I was after you.
Yeah.
Oh, so Dan, you're the newest.
Yeah, he's
I'm
the
the
new-
cherry.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
So
Thanks for
well,
having
then
me.
well, I already know what's going on, but tell the world what's been going on with you since you retired.
I've been loving life. You know, I took a few months off, chilled out a little bit, took some marketing courses, and slowly got back into real estate. And then for some reason, around February, March, you know, I joined up with Howard Hanna, and I've been having a great time with it. You know, they just a good company to work with, and I have been wanting to get back into real estate for a while anyway, because I want to buy more houses and build my my empire. So I am having a lot of time with my kids. One of the reasons I retired early, so I can spend more time with the boys. So I'm getting all that quality time and making some extra money. So I'm pretty happy.
And you've been doing some ninja moves again. You're back out in ninja tournaments, aren't you?
I am. As you can see, I have my Jeet Kune Do shirt on. My boys go every Tuesday. And I've been enjoying that one. I'm working on getting my instructor certificate. It's going to take a few years, a few beatings. I actually went to a seminar in Poland, actually, where we did Jeet Kune Do. We trained with some guys from Russia, Holland, Germany, all over. It was just a really good experience. We went there for a week and got beat up a little bit and learned some good moves. And I could definitely beat up a 5-year-old.
Now I got to ask this question because you're talking about, you know, all those different Eastern Bloc countries and all that. Do you drop to them like, well, you know, I was in the Marine Corps for 27 years. Do you ever drop that to them like to get the reaction?
No, never,
Not at
never
all?
talk tough.
I didn't say
Just
talk
do my
tough. I'm
thing.
just saying, like, do you drop that though at all? Nothing.
Yes, I do. I actually do. Whatever I can use for bragging, I do that. That seems to be my shield.
It is a good one. Like, what's the reaction like over in those areas? Like, what's the reaction when you tell them, hey, you know,
You always get a lot of respect. Nobody really, you know, frowns on that one. You know, if you say you're a Marine, United States Marine, nobody's they give you the respect. I haven't had any pushback.
Interesting. And then Eric's joining us. I appreciate you, brother. He says, thank you for your service, gentlemen. And what does he say? Bulls drinking twisted tea. I think he meant Bill is drinking twisted tea. And I'm not surprised that Bill would be drinking twisted tea. So Bill is the only one of us that was any kind of a trader in any way. Like, I mean, I don't know. Ray, can we call him a trader? Ray, did you fix your computer?
He fixed his computer, but I'm not a traitor.
I'm just asking. I mean, and look, now he's gone. He ran. He was so scared he ran from it. He ran from it. What do you think, Terrell? Can we call him that? I mean, he did.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that he did cross the lines.
I mean, he did cross the line.
A couple of them.
But you got to admit it, he did it in the most gangster way when he jumped ship in Albany and nobody knew what the fuck was going on.
Oh God,
Like that was next level. Like it was literally like, I'm done. Screw you all. Here's my resignation. And he
I don't know if I've even talked to you about this, Bill. Like we all have been there and remember hearing the whole command group being like, this guy hasn't done his physical. Why hasn't he done his physical? What's going on with his physical? And like, why did he miss his physical? Did I ever tell you about that?
Not the Marine Corps physical.
Yeah. He was over there doing somebody else's. Hey, here's another Marine. Corey Favors and I served down in at 310 India Battery. He's another Texas guy. He's in Grapevine outside of Dallas. There's one for you there, Casey.
That's like about an hour away from me.
Yeah, and look, Ray said he's coming back. But yeah, great dude. And my prayers with you and your family, brother. Always looking out for you. But so let's see who else we got. So what do you got going on, Bill? What's new for you?
Same as always, buddy. I'm out there recruiting, doing the Lord's work, and loving life, my friend. Loving life. It's hunting season, so weekends have I'm in the woods, and the farm is getting bigger, and the family's always getting bigger. And I apologize for the guy, but he does not want to.
No, we never apologize for our children because I can't think. You could probably go around this room and every single one of us, at least in our top 2 answers for retiring next to body does not function any longer is going to be we did it to spend more time with our kids and our family. So I mean, you're absolutely welcome on that one, brother. I've met that kid. He's cute.
Being a father all over again to a little guy at 45 is crazy, man. But I'll tell you what, I don't trade it for the world. I love this.
This is a guy who can't even pull out of the driveway. And then Ray, the godfather of Marine Corps recruiting, physically wrote the book in 1882 when he first joined the Marine Corps. Even back then, he had Dan as a pack card inside of the volume 1. And
that's right.
And I think Terrell still worked at headquarters back then, even though he's still the youngest of all of us.
Yeah.
What's new for you there, Ray?
Oh, not much. Just building business, adding to the coaching business and slinging junk. And I have to correct you though.
Whoa, slinging junk. Hold on. What are you got an OnlyFans page or something now?
What's that? OnlyFans? No.
You're slinging junk around. Oh.
I didn't say his junk.
You do know I own a junk business, right? A junk removal business.
I do know
right?
that.
You might remember that, right? So I didn't retire. I didn't retire to be around my kids, and I didn't retire. I didn't retire for the reasons you said. I retired to get away from Bill.
Fair enough.
Because I was just tired of his shit. Terrell was new to the game. Beach was just coming on board, and Bill was just a pain in my balls. So he had to go. I had to get out, man.
Well, I mean, out of the 6 of us that's on this screen right now, how many of them did you put in?
Personally?
Or at least we're involved in.
Well, I was involved in 2 that I know of on the screen right now. So Beecher's recruiter worked for me. I was the staff NCOIC when Beecher joined. He was in my depth. And Bill was recruited by Hutch. As you know, is my best friend. Well, Hutch and I were recruiters together. So when Hutch was a recruiter, I was either a recruiter or I was an NCOIC at Schenectady. I'm not sure what year he did, but Hutch and I started recruiting about the same time.
And how's Hutch doing right now? I know we've talked a little bit. How's he feeling?
He's feeling better. He's done with his chemo. He's now going through his their hormone therapy, which he'll probably have to go through for the rest of his life. So every 3 weeks, he goes to Buffalo, and because he was at stage 4, and his body responded very well to the chemo. Basically, they gave him months when he first got the word. Now his body's responded so well to the chemo that this hormone therapy could keep him going for years.
Wow.
You know, so at first it was tough. Obviously, chemo's a bitch, you know, and then the first time he went for his immune therapy, I guess it is immune system therapy. First time he went for that, it made him sicker than a dog. But he just got back last week from his second or third immune therapy treatment, and he's fine. You know, he's
rock and roll. Is he still
Yeah.
like doing the exterminator thing or whatever it was? He was doing the bug thing.
He was up until the time he got sick again. Now he's retired.
Well, and then, you know, we all know that Mike's not here. We expect that he's in a bomb shelter somewhere, wearing a tinfoil hat and planning the world's demise. And I hope he's listening and throws out some smart ass comment at any moment. And then there's me, your host, folks. Since the last time we did this, I too, Ray, ran from Bill and got away from him also. There is a theme to this, folks, that most of us, when we have an opportunity and we can get away from Bill, we did, but I still talk to him. So there's nothing I can do about that. And I don't know if I've ever dropped this on the show, but the Budget Blinds is me, folks. Like, that's my company. So I went and bought my own company and started my own thing. I found out, Dan could have told me this years ago. I don't work well with other kids. I don't listen real well. And I'm kind of argumentative, so it's better off that don't shake your head too much, Dan. You're going to hurt your neck.
Okay.
I'm probably better off just to be in charge and run my own thing. So that's what I did. So that's what we've all done. That's the whole show, folks. I appreciate everyone coming. Thank you so much. And that's it. But so what else have we all got going on? Let's see here. Let's start with, well, I figure we should start with, I get a lot of this, and I want to get some opinions from folks, especially from you guys that have recently retired. I retired in 14. Ray, you were what, 11?
Oh no, I retired in 2008.
Oh, so you were 8. So you were 8. I was 11, and then the rest of you, Casey, you weren't far behind me. You were like 16, 16. And then Bill, when were you, Bill? Like, none of us know because you weren't a Marine at the time.
He was like 18, 19.
18.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Dan and Terrell. So for some of these young guys that are out there and they're looking, they know, because I just talked to one of our peers, one of our favorite sergeant majors, RS sergeant major now. And he was telling me he's ready to go. He's done. It's not the same Marine Corps anymore. He's over it. And wanted to get your opinions on folks that are getting ready to transition or getting out. What do you got to tell them?
I would say right now, if they're at 8412 specifically, I would say focus on your HR certifications. You know, as long as you got your schooling done, focus on those HR certs. That'll take you a long way. The one thing I noticed was we always put ourselves last, you know, when we start looking at the institution, which I think it's the wrong thing to do, to be honest. You know, we should always take care of ourselves, but at the same time, find a fine balance to ensure the institution's taken care of. But when we get ready to transition, sometimes we're ready, sometimes we're not. And that's to our own doings because of the mentality that we have, you know, mission over anything.
So start taking care of it. You got anything, Dan?
Terrell said it great, but like he's saying, I think just really going through, I think you got to go through that separations class early. Yeah. You got to find out what your opportunities are, like what's available to you. Because there's so much, as we all know, you got your medical. A lot of people are doing skill bridge now and working on certifications. I didn't give a shit about any of it because I knew what I was going to be doing when I got out. So when they're like doing the resume class, I'm like, do I really need to do this? You can ask Terrell. I'm like, I'm going to have my own business. I don't really need this. I'm not building a resume. I'm not looking for a job. But the eye opener of what they need, I would say do it a year out, even 2 years out if you could, because you really got to look at all this stuff because it happens so fast. And everybody on this call has told me it happens like that. But you don't know until you're there and you're sitting there and trying to get all this information. It's a lot. It's overwhelming.
So, okay, now the intelligent part of this is over with, and we've all done that. I'm looking for really good ball stories, preferably if you have anyone where somebody in this group did something during a Marine Corps ball, and you were like, I can't believe X person did that shit. So go ahead and dime each other out right now, and don't anybody hold back. Come on.
I was always too damn drunk.
Well, we all were. Well, here I'll go ahead and start. We were just talking about I met a young Marine, a sergeant. He is the new RPI sergeant for the JROTC. Dude's bigger than a brick shit house. Like, I forgot like what it's like to actually spend your life enjoying to work out and getting paid to do all those things. God, Bill, Eric is busting your balls. He said Bill probably drank twisted tea at the ball. Wow. And the next thing you know, he's going to say you sat down when you peed at the ball. But
this is like a hate on me show. I'm loving it.
no, you know what it is? Because every single person here, you're the only person I know that could be on the phone with a sergeant major or CO. I don't care if it was a CG and be like, hey, hold on, I'll call you right back, and then never call them back.
That's the game right there. If you can do that and get away with it, you're the man.
Bill, you used to call me up and like rant about somebody, and I'd be like, well, here, let me tell you how to fix the problem. And you'd be like, hey, hold on, my other phone's ringing, I'll call you back. And then never. You just needed somebody to talk to.
Do you know how many hunting trips you ruined in the woods from MEPS?
I don't give a shit. But this came up. We were talking about this with this young Marine. Does anybody, and I know, well, heck, Ray, you probably put him in the Marine Corps, General Gray.
Yeah.
So we had General Gray. I'm going to tell you probably one of the best balls. And doggone, oh God, why is his name escaping me right now? I'm having one of my senior moments where it was a Marine Corps ball. General Gray was our speaker. He spoke for 45 minutes. We had wives walking out in the middle of the general speaking because they needed to go pee, and we were all so hammered. But that, to me, like, was probably the best ball, and I will tell you why also. And people don't understand why the Marine Corps birthday is so important, and I want to hear everybody's thoughts on that. But that was always our chance, especially on recruiting duty, because we were all so scattered to the winds. You know, we saw each other at regular monthly meetings, but it was your team sucks, my team's great. We're not allowed to hang out. You know, depending on who your NCOIC was, they might not let you hang out with that group because they're like, I don't want their stank to rub off on you because they suck. You know, whatever the case may be. But we'd always get together at the Marine Corps ball, get absolutely hammered. It's the only place I ever did shots of gin, which is not a good thing. I'll never recommend that. It's like drinking a pine cone. It's not a good thing. But it was always, you know, the best time and the best opportunity to get back to the roots of who we are. What's everybody else's feelings on the Marine Corps birthday? Ray,
Well,
Ray, what you got? So I'm gonna just start doing this way. None of y'all want to talk. This is a
I will
whole.
chime-
Hold on a sec.
chime
Hold
in.
on a sec. This is an entire group of guys who were trained talkers, and the only one running his face is me. And every single one of you got a camera in your face, and you're quiet. I've never seen none of you quiet before.
We
We're
retired.
waiting for you to pause. We're waiting for you to pause.
Shut up
Like
and let people
there's not enough
talk.
oxygen in the room.
You're like
I
the
got my
fucking
own
guest
rule.
speaker. You won't stop talking.
Okay, I know. Get him, Dad. Thank you.
I'm surprised they haven't asked him to be the guest speaker yet.
Oh, God, I want to. Let me be a guest speaker.
Yeah,
You have to do it as an episode, though.
I would do my whole podcast as the guest speaker.
I set a record. The fastest speech.
Hey,
Now you know why I don't call your ass back.
Bitch, you ain't calling. Has anybody here ever got a call back from Dan or from Bill?
Nope.
Bill, I haven't talked to you probably since I left Albany.
I'm just.
And you're waiting on the call back, aren't you?
I'll call
Well,
you
you
right
know what
back.
though?
Left
Wait a
off.
minute though. I will say this. Hey, Bill, I do remember because you would call me and you were telling me what you were doing. And I don't know if you told anybody else what was going on at the time, but I do remember you telling me, hey, don't talk to nobody about this, but this is what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, dude, whatever. And then you did it. And then it was like, there was a second where you kind of had a moment of regret. And then you're like, nah, fuck it. I'm good.
It was a pretty
I had
legendary
to pop
movie.
that mic. I had to do what was best.
No, I thought it was the most
doing in my
gangsterous
fault.
thing I've ever heard.
Listen, we all know who pushed me out. We all know who that guy was. We won't speak of the name, but listen, I wasn't going to New York City. I'm a country. I can't do that shit.
I thought you were gonna be the ARI.
No, he was trying to send me to New York City. He said, "You're gonna come here for a year, and then I'm gonna ship you to New York City." I said, "Well, you have a good day. I'm gonna drop the mic on May 30th, and I'm done on June 30th. Have a great day."
Well, I know the other one that was involved in that, which was Milburn, and I wouldn't piss down his throat if his stomach was on fire.
You liked him that much, huh?
That was his best friend, his BFF.
Tell us how you really feel.
Hey, I just want to know whoever gave him a red pen, because I swear to God, that thing, anything you ever gave that guy came back with red pen markings on it.
Look,
Hey.
I always thought about that guy with when I had Captain the hell's his
DeMore?
name? The wrestler.
Oh, Ryder.
Ryder.
Captain Ryer writes my fit rep, and it's the highest gunnery sergeant fit rep he's ever written in his entire short captain's
He was
career.
bullshitting you. Mine was better.
No, well,
Were you the only gunny?
Yeah.
I could have been the only gunny he ever wrote on, but it's fine either way. Still was number one. Look, in a one-man
One for
race, I
Dan.
always win. But he writes this, signed off by now Colonel Whitley. He signs it off. Everything's great. Fast forward, and now DeMore is writing my fit reps, and I've got Milburn, and all of a sudden I'm a piece of shit. I can't do nothing. I got my bachelor's degree, and he gave me a B on my fit rep, and I had to go back and be like, "You're giving me low education marks in the same period that I just got my bachelor's degree." And he was like, yeah, I'll go back and change that. I was like, yeah, no shit. Wonder who's controlling this thing. That was a pure Milburn, 100% controlled that thing. So enough with that rant. But back to what I was trying to get to. So I want to know what everybody else's feelings about the ball and the Marine Corps birthday. Like, what has been your personal vibes on it? Ray, you started. You're the senior man.
Yeah. So for me, the ball was always no matter where I was at, it was always an opportunity to do two things. It was always an opportunity to get grounded with what being a Marine's all about. Right. It was earning the title and celebrating our birthday, celebrating our heritage. And the other one was always remembering those that came before. Right. So for me, although it was a good party and it was by the end of the night, it was one of the best nights of the year. The whole, of course, as an 8412, we're not exposed to a lot of the traditional ceremonies and things like that on an ongoing basis, like you might be in the fleet. Right. And, so for me, it was always that annual opportunity to participate or be a part of, or to even just witness, the traditional ceremonies that go on in a ball, which anchors us back. Of course, you got Lejeune's message and everything else, but it always anchored me back to what being a Marine's all about. Always anchored me back to the identity of being a Marine. I'm asked all the time, do you miss the Corps? Now I've been out 15 years, believe it or not. And, I know what you're thinking, Shawn. I don't look anything, it's amazing you look 25. How in the world have you been out that long? But, I've been out 15 years. And the one thing that, I'm asked no matter where I go, I've got a keynote speech. I got a keynote speaking engagement tomorrow morning at a veteran event. I just had 2 last week, but I'm always asked, do you miss the Marine Corps? Do you miss the Corps? And for me, I don't. I miss the Marines. Right. I miss the people that I served with. I miss being able to, communicate mission, being able to communicate, speak in common language that when you turn around, if someone said they were going to do something, they did it. Now in Bill's case, it may not have been done all that well, but
Damn, Bill, like you were just getting lambasted tonight.
Well, Molly's not here. So Monica's not here. So Bill's got to draw it. But for me, I miss the Marines. I miss the environment of identity. I miss the environment where people knew who they were and what they were. And when they said they were going to do something, they did it. Right. Whether, and when they said things will get done, that it got done. You don't see that everywhere. You certainly don't see that in a lot of today's youth. At least my experience in business and everything. But I miss that. So I miss the guys, right? I miss that camaraderie. I miss that, I just miss that grit. You don't see it everywhere. And the ball always reminded me of that. The ball was a chance for us to just, no matter where we were at on mission, no matter where we were at We were able to drop the pack, decompress, right? Get drunk, start knocking the shit out of each other sometimes. I don't know if I've ever been to a ball where there at least wasn't one fight broken out, but for me, it was a very good time to anchor and ground with who and what being a Marine's all about.
I should have invited Jason Reed to this. We'd have really. I watched Reed do shit like. Reed almost got me beat up by Milburn or by Whitley my first ever hangout.
You got it right the first time.
Yeah.
I just talked to Reed a couple weeks ago.
Well, you're going and working with him, but now here's another thing though. And Casey, I'm going to put you on the spot with this one just for Marine Corps ball's sake for a second. You showed up to a location where I think when you got to Albany, we were a pretty tight-knit group of 8412s compared to, even when I was in Harrisburg, it was a good group, but nothing like in Albany. What was that like coming to a ball or coming to a unit where you were the outside man, like trying to get part of that team?
One, actually, everybody was really cool with me. Actually, one of the first people who was super cool was obviously you, because you and I hung out a few times. And then Bill actually was very, very cool. I don't think you had a station yet when I first got there, or I can't remember if you did.
Yeah, I was
the first compliment I got tonight.
Well, actually, I was in Albany.
I feel bad. I feel bad. I mean, we can't keep picking on the handicap kid. So, and then Dan was good. It was interesting because especially jumping into the ops billet. Obviously, people had no choice but to talk to me, and then that was probably what helped. I think if I was at a station, it would have been harder. It would have been a lot harder to meet everybody. But being ops, it made it real easy. So
did you take over ops from me?
Yeah, that piece of trash that you left me.
Absolutely a fucking lie. Because this ass
The
Bill,
bulls-
I harassed. Hold on.
Oh my!
I harassed
You left me with freaking old boy who said, "Hey, I'll run a waiver, but I don't do it until the staff NCOIC's called me the third time, and then I actually look at the waiver."
Who was that?
You fucking did too.
Who, me?
You didn't look at waivers that much.
Was his name
Demore? Oh God. We'll go back to, and I really do love Colin. Colin just had no spine when it came to that guy, and I love Colin. He's a good dude.
Right.
I still talk to him. I wish happy birthday.
He's a good guy.
A couple days.
But I do remember walking in there, stack of books on his desk, and I said, "What are those?" He goes, "Oh, those are waivers." I said, "Oh, are they working?" "No, I don't do those yet." "By all means, tell me more." "Well, I wait till they call me." "Okay, and then what?" And then I wait for them to call me a third time. And I'm just shaking my head. And I'm like, you got to realize I came from Houston. Houston made mission on the 1st. I showed up on the 29th of March. And I remember this. And I said, "Oh, where are we at?" And they're like, "Oh, we need 3 for mission." I was thinking, for April? No, we need 3 for March. And I'm like, oh, fuck. What did I walk into?
Casey, we know because we heard about Houston for a year.
When
I was in Houston, this is what we did.
Hey, you had to.
I did the same thing when I went to Springfield.
So no, it was good. Everybody was really cool. Everybody was really good. Y'all made it home. I hated to leave. I did hate to leave, but they weren't going to let me leave ops, and I couldn't train another ops. I could not deal with another new captain.
Don't talk.
Casey, who'd you work with? Who'd you work with in Houston?
Hi, everyone.
I was down here. I came out on recruiting when you knew Goodrich, Forrester, right? Forrester, Pete Sanchez. Trying to think who all was because you said you retired in 08, right?
Yeah. Who's your contact team?
Oh shit. Who was I think Goodrich was on the contact team at the time in 08.
Okay. Gotcha.
They were so
I can't
good, he doesn't
remember.
Oh,
Old boy who just passed away recently, and that was in Thailand. I'm forgetting his name.
Oh no, Greer.
Greer.
Any
Yeah,
Marine
Greer's
that was in Thailand, no one wants to hear that story.
Greer's
no.
a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
When Greer came out to the RS, when he started recruiting, I put him through PAR training. He worked for Hutch for a while down in Schenectady.
Yeah.
Greer passed.
So
Hold on, Greer from like Binghamton area.
Greer,
Yeah.
Rob Greer. He was a recruiter in Schenectady under Hutch. And then he went over to, and then he wanted to be he was going to be an NCYC. We put him over in East Greenbush, and then he went back to the fleet. He was an EOD guy, EODer. So yeah, he passed away. He was over in Thailand. Is that who you're talking about, Casey?
I think that's. I'm trying. I'm thinking. Did you know Douglas?
Douglas, I know the name.
Douglas was the one who I was thinking of. I had to think about it for a second, but I know Saul Tome had passed away not that long ago too. Though.
Yeah, Tome. Yeah, we lost Tome.
Yeah.
What's his name? Kester. Is it Kester? Dwayne's got cancer right now. There's a bunch of them that are hurting.
Yeah.
What's with all these guys?
I was recruited out of Bridgeport, and my recruiter just recently passed away. Juan Rosario. So
Well, that's it. That's a lot of I wonder what that's all about. Recruiters and cancer.
Most of it's Lejeune.
Well,
every Marine that I knew that's my age, right? And keep in mind, when I came in, every Marine that I've known that was stationed in Lejeune's got cancer. Every single one of them. I've got a buddy that I went to boot camp with. He's got bone cancer. I have another buddy that we went to boot camp with that passed away from cancer. I've got all these 12s. You got Hutch. You got Trujillo, right? I mean, and the common thread with every single one of them is that they were in Lejeune when they were younger Marines.
That whole Lejeune water thing, I've talked about that, I think, on the air, but it's a load of shit with the date. I can remember when I got to Lejeune in 94 and them taping off water fountains and us being like, what's the deal? Like North Carolina in July, and you're taping off water fountains long before anybody gave us bottled water. We're like, what's the deal? And they're like, oh, you can't drink out of this water fountain. It's contaminated. But you can cook my food out of this same water. I can go in the bathroom and use the sink to get water. Like, what's the deal? And I've argued that with the VA. That's a whole nother thing in and of itself with those elements. But
but they're all now. Greer didn't die of cancer. Greer they believe he had a heart attack. I say believe because he died in Taiwan, and they found him a few days later in a hotel because he was on his what do they call that, a bucket list trip, right, where he was doing doing because he was a big Kaju Kembo guy, and he was they found him, they believe it was 2-3 days. And then it took them months to get his remains home. It took them, months. Noni didn't get his remains until like 4 or 5 months later. So they believe it. They believe it was a heart attack. They don't think there was any foul play, but you're in Taiwan. You know what I mean? It's like,
who knows? The wrong lady boy.
Wasn't he a gunny when he retired?
Yeah.
Big guy. Yep. Yeah.
No, he was a smaller guy. He wasn't big.
He was black. He was a black guy though. Big.
Nope.
He was kind of stocky.
Nope.
Not the one I'm thinking of.
No, you think about Syracuse Greer, I think, Dan. That's what I was thinking about. He was at MEPS,
Yeah, no, Rob was a scrawny little scrapper. I say scrawny. He was a smaller framed guy, looked older, bald, almost like Bill. Bald, right? But he looked old and wrinkly for his age. He looked a lot older
just like Bill.
But I was gonna say.
Yeah, he didn't say that before, so I'm not wrinkly. I like this guy.
Well, and for those of you that have ever watched the show or listened in, my buddy Nate always has a food question, and I guess we'll skip Terrell on this one. I don't think he's ever had one of these. But what's your go-to MRE?
Oh, that's messed up.
What? Terrell.
Wait,
Terrell. What unit were you in? What unit were you in the fleet?
I was over at Syscom, and I was with First MLG, CLR 17.
Do you know what an MRE is?
Can you spell it?
I know what an MRE is because we got them on our drill weekends.
Oh, that's right. You were the reservist. I always forget you were the reservist.
Yeah, y'all writing me. This dude right here. Come on, man.
Closest he got to the fleet was MCT.
And you know what's funny? I ended up being in charge before I fucking left.
What the hell? Well,
Now,
let's
you
start
wanna know
with you
what's
then,
funny?
Dan. Did you have a go-to?
For the MRE?
Yeah.
Oh, Chili Mac.
No.
Chili mac was always the best because you
I
eat
was like,
it cold.
I don't know.
Good.
Beef stew.
Yo,
No,
Oh,
no,
beef.
that'll catch you.
No.
That'll creep up on you.
I
Like a
love
warm
beef.
canteen of
Tortellini.
water.
Tortellini.
Good.
No,
Tortellini.
I have
beef
no
stew.
idea. I have no idea what menu you guys were on, but when I went to boot camp, we had sea rats.
You
I
used to
didn't
like
know what an
canned
MRE
rats, didn't
was
you?
until
Was
I
that
went
the
to Norway. I
Spam
went
with
to
the
Norway.
key?
They started handing out these pouches. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Right? Because the sea rat came in a box and it had all the cans and they had the John Wayne. And, that's what I had during all my training.
What
I get
did
to
you
Norway
trade
and
your
they're handing out
cigarettes
these
for that
pouches.
they gave you?
What's that?
I just want to know what you traded your cigarettes for.
Right?
I know you got a pack of Pall Malls in those things.
Oh, man.
Three
We go
Pall
to
Malls.
Norway. I go to Norway and they come in, they start handing out these packets, right? And I'm like, what the fuck are these things, right? And the young sergeant, I was a staff sergeant at the time, and the young corporal who was just promoted to sergeant looks at me and goes, "Staff sergeant, that's chow. Like, that's fucking dog chow, and whatever that is." I said, "Where's the boxes?" Right? It's like, whoa. And I guess we'd been on MREs for quite some time, and I didn't know. So my favorite one was whatever came in, whatever they called it, right? In other words, I don't even know if there was a menu. I don't even know, like the things you're talking about. I never heard of we never got tortellinis in those things.
Oh,
We
they
got
have-
those dehydrated sausage patties that you add a little water to, right? And it puffed up. I don't know what the hell it was called, but we had that. And we had some noodle, and then we had some sort of cracker that looked like it freaking come off someone's house as a shingle. You know what I mean?
they still got
So
those.
I don't remember now.
You eat
You
that
know,
bad
now
boy
when we
jalapeno cheddar cheese.
jalapeno cheddar cheese.
Well,
The
look,
fuck
they
you
now
You're
have
gonna blow his mind, Terrell. You're gonna blow his mind. Hey,
right.
you know what?
They
You
have
want to blow his
vegan
mind?
and
Tell him how many were in
vegetarian
a
meals
box.
now.
What's that?
They have vegan and vegetarian meals now.
Of course they do. Why not?
We are in a kindler, gentler, as was said in a song at one point in time, a kindler, gentler machine gun hand.
Wait,
Yeah.
next year it's plant-based.
Oh God,
Nice.
I wouldn't be surprised. Excuse me, can I get my MRE with a ultimate burger in it? I
That's impossible.
or is that what they're called? Impossible. I've never eaten one because
Me
if
neither.
you read the recipe on the thing, it's got more chemicals than it does anything in it. So I don't know
But
how
it
that's
tastes
healthy.
just like a Whopper.
Just like it.
Yep, I feel healthy when I have one of those.
You feel better about yourself
I
as
do.
you eat
I
one.
really do. I get no cheese, no mayonnaise. That's the trick. That's the key to being healthy.
Oh, hell
No cheese and mayonnaise. I just want you to know for dinner tonight, I had sloppy joes with cheese on them.
Ah, that's good.
As I drink whiskey. So maybe next year I'll be on your list of like, hey, you remember Murph? Look. This is my only day a week that I get to drink is Wednesdays. So I take full advantage of those things.
Hey, at
Speaking
least
of
you get to
advantage,
drink.
anybody run into like random people since you've retired that you're nowhere near where you would think you would run into fill in the blank person, and you've ran into another Marine?
I recently ran into Carly Geibel.
Oh,
Oof. And
Who?
And Geibel, OPSO in Albany. Actually, what's her married name?
Oh yeah, Geibel.
Yeah. Her married name now is I forget.
Furtado.
Yes, Furtado. I couldn't think of it. I ran into her recently. And Beecher, Danny boy, I ran into your recruiter. Goddamn, I'm fucking old age slipping names. Who's your female that was killing it in West?
Oh, Brody.
And Brody. Bob
Yep.
Merkel. I ran into both of them in Quantico when I was out there about a couple months ago.
Right on.
So
I didn't know she was here when you were there.
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she was probably just starting out when you were around.
She's when I left, she took over station. As I left.
Is she a 12 now, Brad Merkel?
She is.
Yeah, she's a master.
RI in Albany.
Yeah.
Really?
She's a master sergeant.
Yep.
Where is she?
Yeah, she's going to Albany.
She-
They're doing Yeah, there's a major shortage. Well, a lot of people are dropping papers fast.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
really?
they're taking people like a year as a 12 and making them RIs.
No, it's 6 months.
Oh, it's 6 months.
Wow.
Oh, you said as an RI. Yeah.
So
Well, so there's a training team chief out there right now who's only been a 12 for about 6 years. So
Wow.
just let that process.
so what are they
Where?
letting, are they letting they bringing back suppo COs, like letting suppos run shit again? It always causes problems when you have a suppo there.
I don't know. I try not to pay attention to what's going on in the community, but it's just occasionally I get like a little gouge, what's going on. Like people text me like, what happened with the slate? I'm like, why are you texting me this? I don't give a shit about this.
Well, the only reason
Slate.
why I know is because
Slade, I got
work-
shingled roofs.
I know because I work at an OST. So
You're still wired in.
I am wired in. Why?
No
Because
shit.
as Ray was saying, you said you love being around Marines. I tried working with people who were civilians. I snapped at them. They didn't like it. I said, screw you. I went and got a degree, and then I found a job working with Marines again, and I get to yell again, and it's great. I get to snap off. And the best part is I can tell an officer to go fuck themselves if I need to, and there's nothing they can do. Why? Because I'm past my probationary period and you can't fire me. So it's great being a civilian employee.
I have a case. Casey, I have a question for you. Why'd you wait till you got out to tell officers to go fuck themselves?
Oh, Dan was really good at that. Dan was always
I
good at that.
I know. Dan had more balls about that than I did.
No, he was the only one of us that had a real job to fall back on. That
Well,
he
that's
knew
true.
he could be like. He'd be like, "You do know, sir. I'll go ahead and go back to being a reservist next week, and you can have this shit."
Yep, I did.
And they would all be like,
shit.
"They'd be like, what?"
Dan was like Trump. He didn't need the paycheck. He was just doing it for the glory.
But the leverage helped. The leverage helped when they knew they couldn't do anything to you. It was better. It was better for the Marines, because when you want to run your station, take care of people, nobody really got in your way because they knew it was like lights out. That's it.
Yep.
But good for you, Casey, for going back there. I know that's probably a more calm job than what you were dealing with before.
Oh, I love it. I mean, this is like the easiest job an 8412 can find. Literally, think about this. Imagine having a job where all you have to do is fill out the paperwork. I don't have to find them. I don't have to sell them. I don't even care if they stay in. I just got to put in some type of
Just do the package.
That's
just
good.
do the package.
So you're Miss Patty.
Yes. That's what I told him. I was like, "What's your job?" He goes,
Why did you say it?
"Damn,
I love that
I
lady.
got on here." I was like,
I love her.
"What are you doing?" He's like, and he's explaining to him. Oh, I said, "Oh, you're Patty."
Is she still there?
She is.
Listen,
Yeah, she's gonna
Patty
be another year.
Patty
I think.
did Moses' package before he parted the Red Sea.
Yeah,
Patty was
she's
like,
great.
"Look, Moses,
I love.
she's the best." And I love
She
when
is.
she answered the phone. She's like, "Marine
Marines.
car." Like, holy shit, sir, can I speak to Miss Patty? What do you mean? This is Patty.
Hey, let's talk about Patty for a minute. That lady's been around for so long. I loved it when she'd be like an SRI or something, and the officers are putting on a show, and she'd just be like, "This is fucking stupid." Her facial expressions, everything. She'd be like, "This is fucked up."
And that's what
from his ass. That's what she said.
But that's what I get to do now. I get to look at people and going, "Where did you get your degree?" First off, because I question some of these officers and where they actually have a degree, whether it was through a Cracker Jack mailbox, I don't know. But it's still fun though. I still enjoy being around Marines. And you mentioned the ball. This is going to be the first time I've gone to a ball since I've retired this year.
Oh, you're actually going to one.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go. I got my OSO asked me. He asked me. He's like, "Please come. I really enjoy it. I would like to spend time." And so I said I would come. So
That's not bad.
So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I know Dan and Terrell never invited me back to one. I mean, never said I could come back to one in Albany.
I didn't really want to go to mine.
I mean,
I
didn't really
came.
I mean, they didn't invite me. Ray, do you ever get invited, Annie?
Yeah, I think Beach had me. I was a keynote actually. I was a guest.
Yes.
What was a guest of honor?
Yes, he was the man.
Guest
And
of honor.
he
award.
kept it
I've been
short.
to a few since I've retired.
Man, I ain't never been to one since I retired. I'm coming up on 10 years next year. retired.
I got invited to Albany's last year. Major pagans, like, hey, you want to come to our bowl? And I'm like, no, I do not. I said, that is your show. You got a new command group. I said, that's your show, man. I'm not going to come back and be like that guy that just retired and be like, hey, remember when I did it?
So I want to. I would so go. I have no doubt about it. I would go because I think I agree with all of you. I don't want to run. I don't want to listen to people that I can't tell them they're wrong. I don't want to. Bill knows I'm good at that too. I don't want to deal with any of that, but I miss this that we're doing right now. I miss this camaraderie. As Ray said, I miss speaking the same language as somebody else. Like when you look at somebody and you're like, hey, you got this, and they go, good to go. And they walk away, and never does it cross your mind again that will this get done or won't it get done? I mean, we're coming up on, closing the bar here soon, but what's been your experience with that, dealing with civilians and being like, hey, you got this? And they're like, yeah. And then it never fucking happens.
I will tell you this, you all messed with me earlier about leaving. I will tell you the one thing that I regretted was leaving was being around Marines, because everywhere I've gone since then, there's no camaraderie like it. There's no, the amount of knife you have to pull out of your back, no matter where you go, is ridiculous. I never did that in the Marine Corps, except for with Beecher. So, that's the thing. Miss being around Marines. Well, you all know how Beecher and me met. The first day I walked into the station and said, hey, I'm your new recruiter. He says, yeah, I just quit. Have a great day.
Are you serious?
No.
Hold on. I've never heard this.
Let's correct this. I never quit. I resigned.
He resigned. I'm sorry. Right.
Wait. I've never heard this story.
I just resigned. Good luck. And left me with Minnie Mouse.
Yeah, I remember I had opened up ops that morning, and then Dan was there at like 7:00, and Cammy's. I'm wondering what the fuck's he doing here so early. Sure enough, he was about to fucking lay it down. He told Brian Neal, done.
Neal pissed me off. I'm like, I'm done.
I heard that dude. Like, I never met that guy. I heard he was a straight just dick.
You are a better.
He walked into a mess. When he came to Albany, and Gay will tell you, Chapman, you walked into it too. It was a real freaking mess. Reagan was the RI. He had taken over for Gordy, and Gordy had the place down awesome. And then Reagan went complete opposite, and he was in survival mode. He was a gunny as an RI, and he was in survival mode, trying to hold it together and train people. It was interesting, but it went to shit. Albany was like dropped to the bottom, I believe, in the nation, and there was a lot Neal was coming into that he just had to fix, and he just didn't have time for bullshit, and nor did I. That's why I left. Chapman, that's why you got the seat.
Well, I mean,
got the seat because the guy you left it to, I think ended up, in a straitjacket. I don't know.
Walters?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it. Wait a sec. How about another master? Gawny. Let me tell you. Gawny.
Bashalian.
That guy. Oh, look. Wait, what was that, Terrell? Go ahead and say it, Terrell. Terrell's over here looking like a bobblehead.
Hey, Shawn, I wanted to ask you, where's your boy Steve?
Last I heard, he's somewhere in PA.
I think we're good.
You think we're good?
I love him. Love his father's probably one of the best Marines I've ever known. His brother-in-law, Matt Scheib, got me to where I am from the minute he was Gunny Scheib to Master Gun Scheib. I have all the utmost respect for that entire Vanko Scheib family, and I love them all.
As he's smiling his ass off, look at him.
Listen to me. We'll talk about that story. That is one that, because I love his father like if he was my own father. If he called me up today, if his dad or his mom called me up today and said, Shawn, I need you to come down to PA. We need something done. I'd cancel my appointments with clients and I'd drive down there tomorrow and do whatever he needed from me. There wouldn't be it wouldn't even be a question. Steve Vanko.
Okay, Vanko.
His dad was a H-1 and then a 53 crew chief in Vietnam, flying over the A Shau Mountains. He has stories about Vietnam that they make movies about.
Yeah.
Like
You're talking about
like-
Shibe's father-in-law, right?
Shibe's father-in-law.
Yeah,
Jack,
I met the man. I met the man at Shibe's wedding.
Oh, was
Good
you at the
man.
wedding? I was at
I
the
was at
wedding.
Shibe's wedding, yeah.
Really? I was there.
Yep.
I don't remember you.
Yeah. No, well, I'm not memorable.
Yeah, I was.
Neither one of you had beards at that point.
Yeah, this is true, but who has a better beard? Let's ask that question. Get that. Get that thing. Casey, can you grow a beard?
This
Or
is
do you have
about
to
as
call
good
Jim
as it
Han-
gets.
or do you have to call Jim Hansen to mail you one?
Yeah, this is about as good as it gets. So I'll hit puberty one day. I'm convinced that I will.
It's like that Cheers episode where Cliff Clavin was growing a beard. It was just like a little busting his balls.
Hey, I just enjoy not shaving.
Well, isn't it the most beautiful thing to like not shave, to never like if you miss a haircut? I mean,
I'm
who
okay.
still like? I still have a haircut every 2 weeks.
I shave my
Anybody
hair
else?
3 times a week. That's about it.
Yeah.
How
I get
many
my
times
haircut
a
every
week?
2 weeks.
Every 2
Roughly.
weeks.
3 weeks.
Roughly.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Bill, how about you?
Every 2 weeks, except for when I'm coaching football. And then, I leave it all going until the end of the season.
Could any of you ever grow your hair out, like truly grow it out?
I tried it.
I tried that, and I got this got a couple of bald spots that's coming up right here. So it's not bald spot; it thins out. Put it that way.
That's a good point. It's been so long. I don't know what my hair would look like, to be honest with you. I mean, it's been a long time. And I don't know
what
about
it looked like, but I know what color it would be. I don't know
We
what
know what
mine would
color
look
yours
like, but I know what color it would be.
Yeah. We call you Santa
Hey,
Santa Claus.
I'm a redhead.
Question of the night. What excuse did Molly give you?
He
He's not
just
feeling
in the
good.
group chat. He just said he couldn't make it.
No, I hit him up separately. He said he wasn't feeling good. Says under the weather. So
I thought maybe he had a bee emergency.
All he had to do is drink a whole bottle of Jameson. He would have been fine.
I mean, last year was hilarious.
Every year he drinks a bottle.
And the shit that comes out of his mouth, like every bit of it's cringeworthy. Every time. It's just we're cringing. But gents, we're getting ready. We're almost at that 1 hour mark. I'll say this, and I mean it with all the love in my heart. There is no show that I do every year that I look more forward to than this one. Having you all on here. For the Marines that weren't able to make it, I hope you get a chance to check out what we had going on in next year. And look, if you're out there and you're listening to this and you're another Marine and you want to chime in, you want to jump on one of these, let me know, reach out. We do it just before the birthday every year. I think one year we actually got to do it on the birthday, didn't we? Was that a couple years ago? Was it on the birthday?
That was the first one, I think.
Was it the first one was on the birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So make sure you reach out to us, and we'd love to have you on. If you're finding the show through any one of these gentlemen, like they passed along and shared this, and you're finding us, make sure you give it a like, follow, share, subscribe. We've all got different things going on, and we'll go around the horn and let everybody know where we're at. If you wanted to follow or see what we have going on, we'll do that here in a moment. But like I said, like, follow, share. We'll go ahead and put this out here shortly. Gents, we normally just go with the final word from each of you, but what I want you to do this time around is not only give us your final word, but if you want people to find you on social media, or you got something going on. I know Dan, Ray, and myself have stuff that goes on. Bill's got some stuff. Terrell, nobody loves you. And then Casey, you have no friends. I miss you all. I miss you guys all so much. I just do. I don't give a shit. I miss all you guys. I used to go to the bar with Casey. Y'all didn't know that shit, did you? Casey and I used to go to the bar like all the time. When I was getting divorced, Casey and I spent a lot of time in the fucking bar. So y'all didn't know that shit. But I'll give it to you gentlemen. Casey, I'm just gonna go how it is on my screen. So Casey, you started off, brother.
Oh, first off, hey Shawn, no, I appreciate it. It's actually I've not seen some of these faces in a long time, and it is actually really good to see you guys. Thank you all, and I'm sorry I missed it years before, but I will not miss it again as long as I'm here. I promise you that. This was too much fun. No, I am. I will put this out there. Actually, I will be looking for a new job here probably next year when I finish my MBA, and because got to try to challenge and see what I'm really made of. So if you want to find me, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on social media, whatever. But you're looking to hire somebody with an MBA, give me a call. I'll take a job offer. So that's about as much as I'll
Talk to
sell.
Ray and I. We'll make you just start your own shit, and you won't ever think about that. Dan,
Hey, Shawn, first of all, again, thanks for putting this on. This is awesome. I look forward to this every year. It was a little more mild this year. I wish Chapman was below me because I always like to make those little jokes about me dropping one on his head,
There he is.
We're good.
there
No,
you go.
but seriously, it's always a pleasure seeing everybody. Casey, I'm glad you came on this year, man. This is awesome. You guys know where to find me. I'm a real estate agent, Howard Hanna. Find me on Facebook, Dan Beecher, Dan the Man. Come check me out. That's all I got.
Ray, do you need a turn chart? Do you need to bring a turn chart forward to give your whole piece?
Yeah, give me a second. I gotta get one ready real quick because that comes from training Marines for so long that you just got to draw pictures and stick figures. And I always start every training with, listen, Ray can't spell and he can't draw, although he will always try to do both. Right? It's just the way it is. No, this is always fun. This is great. I think this is the second year that I've been allowed to participate. And I appreciate it. It's always good to be around Marines. It always does the blood good, does the body good, does the mind good, and it's good for the soul. As you know, I've got a new coaching business. It's Chaos Coach, so that would be Ray at chaos.coach, not com, but coach, right? And what we're trying to do is we're trying to help small business entrepreneurs, small business owners, as well as now we're moving into actually doing self-help, self-development type training. The world's in absolute friggin' chaos. And, it's really crippling and hurting a lot of people. So, that's what we're coaching to now. And we're trying to help people through that and give them the skills to navigate it. It's good seeing faces. I know I bust on Chap a lot, again, because he doesn't return calls, but, it's good. I don't remember the last time I've seen Terrell. I don't know. Were you on last year, Terrell? I don't remember.
Yeah, I was on last
every year.
Yeah.
So it must have been you were too quiet. Either that or you couldn't be heard over Malika, one or the other. So, but it's awesome. It's good seeing everybody. I see Shawn, I see Dan quite a bit, but everybody else I don't see much. And Casey, I think you got to Albany after I was gone.
Long
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But I know you by name, and I think we may have met before. I was telling Shawn earlier, I think a long time ago I may have met you prior to you retiring. So
yeah, it could have been. Yeah, awesome.
Casey,
Thank you.
If it helped you any, when I was coming back on recruiting to the second time, I called up Master Guns Gagnon and said, "Hey, I'd like to come back on recruiting." And he goes, "Sure. And who are you again?" Just an FYI, I was recruiter of the year out of Harrisburg and all kinds of other shit. And he's like, "Yeah, who?" And I read my resume to him. He goes, "Yeah, we'd love to have you come back. Come on, where you want to go?" "Harrisburg." "Sounds good to me. I'll sign off on it." Like, this son of a bitch has no idea who I am. Terrell, what you got, brother?
No, just gonna say thanks for putting this on, just like everybody else said. So just gonna echo that piece. It's always a great time to see y'all, get with y'all, talk with y'all, do whatever we do. Just like you said, Master Guns, that's really that esprit de corps. I really do enjoy it and things of that nature. So y'all all got my number. If not, it's I'm not gonna put it on right now because
go ahead and put it out right now. Go ahead and put it out right now. We'd all would love to hear that. Go ahead and put that right out here on I think I got
my number anyway.
It's like 1,400 people on Facebook that are on our Facebook page that'll see this. So go ahead and put that out there.
Exactly. But just good to keep in touch with y'all, and that's one thing when I retired, and I'll keep it short.
No, do whatever you got. We got time.
In my speech, the one thing that we don't have on our side is time, and I continue to talk about time and how that clock continues to tick. And when we actually take a moment like this to celebrate the Marine Corps birthday and talk with each other amongst ourselves, it definitely goes a long way. It touches the heart. So, that's all I got.
William.
Oh, great! Like I'm in trouble now. Hey, Shawn, thank you for putting us on. It is the one thing that I always get on every year. You can bet your ass that next year I'll be on this again. I'll be on time. I'll be about 9 minutes early because you're going to start calling at 8. So I will be on 9 minutes early next year. But really the biggest thing is, guys, I love you guys. I miss you guys. Sorry for dropping the mic, but I had to leave. But again, I miss you guys. Love you. And the one thing I will say is just enjoy life. Enjoy life. We never know when it's our time. So God bless those Marines that we lost this year. And here's one of them.
There we go.
Happy
everybody.
birthday,
Salute.
guys.
Happy birthday, gents.
Happy
And normally
Happy
I would
birthday.
end it with my normal, and I will in a moment. But again, we will do this every year for as long as I got a podcast. We will do this. And there is nothing better than hanging out with you guys. And I just hope to keep seeing it growing. And don't log off on me, gents. Stay around for half a minute. And there goes Ray. I said, don't log off. And the fucking guy 2
He
seconds
did the
later.
same thing last year.
Like, Ray, don't log off. Tick.
He's out.
He's like, I spent my time with you. I'm done.
At his age, his bladder probably, he's having bladder
Got
issues.
an hour and 5 minutes, Shawn. Leave me
So-
the hell alone. I'm out.
All right, don't log off on me, gents. And as we always say on the show, be sure to push your stool in.
This has been a Second Front podcast presentation found on Apple, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found.